Oh, Elden Ring. DLC is coming out in a few weeks, and I thought, hey, why not? The challenge run can't be that bad, right? Before we begin, let me quickly go over the rules of the challenge run.
Rule number 1. Thou shalt only use runes gained by killing other players.
And this includes upgrading my weapon, leveling my character, or buying anything.
Rule number 2. All runes gained outside of PvP must be discarded.
Essentially, if I kill anything that's not another player, those runes go immediately in the garbage.
Rule number 3. I must follow the Elden Ring wiki guide.
As someone who has completed a level 1 challenge, this stops me from just pushing through to the end of the game. Now I already know what you're thinking.
But Rhydon, why?
Well, I'm looking for a difficult challenge, and I know it's going to be a lot of fun. But deep down, I actually just hate myself. Not to mention, I wanted to make a new character, and I chose Hero for this run, and obviously named it after myself. So let's hop right in and get to it.
Ah yes, the lands between. It's so beautiful, it's sunny.
We do not have time for that. In order to get the challenge run off the ground, we have to run around and grab a bunch of shit. The 3 main items we need to grab is the Sword Seal of Rhydon and the 2 halves of the Dectus plate to get to the Altus Plateau. But above all else is to stop and talk to our favorite person, because they give us the best item in the game, a horse. And now that we have horse in hand, I kill myself. And it's time to head for Rhydon's Sword Seal. But before we leave, I want to grab the map.
And also head over here and grab this nifty little whetstone. Oh, would you look at that? And the first stop on our adventure is heading over to the Third Church of America,
where you can pick up your first sacred tier, as well as the wondrous physic flask.
But there's no need to worry about that. Those will be useful later.
But this is no time to rest. With Dick in hand, we head over to the teleporter that takes us to,
this place.
But before moving forward, I was sure to break into a local's house and touch his things.
And also grab one of these shiny seeds.
And I was very careful to make sure I did not disturb the local wildlife. I'm alright.
And then behind the big stinky tree, there's a super jump.
And guess what? Look at that. We're at Fort Ferrith. And lucky for us, 2 of the items we need are in Fort Ferrith.
There's 1 half of the silly plate.
And you can also get Rhydon's Sword Seal. But you have to be careful to roll and dodge the rats. And just down here, bam. We have the Sword Seal.
And just in case you're fucking stupid,
Rhydon's Sword Seal is really good. Look at all those stats.
Wow.
And now we just need 1 more piece of the plate, and we'll be ready to start the challenge run. Kinda. But the good news is the last piece is in Fort Height, and we've already been kind of near there. But as we pass through, we grab the map, and we set our eyes on Fort Height.
But the good news is that Fort Height is actually quite small.
You just gotta kill this guy. Ooh, bloody slash. And the last piece of the plate is at the top of the ladder.
Well, wait a minute. How do we invade without a bloody finger?
Well, that's covered in the next part. Well. Would you look at that? We already have all the items we need. But our next objective is to talk to a snake lady. But first, we need to get rid of these runes. and head back over to Limgrave to progress our way over to the Snake Lady, all while trying to avoid as much combat as possible. Our purpose for being over the Lake of Lunaria is to finish Raya's quest, and if you're not familiar with that, we have to get her necklace back to her. So our next objective is to find her. But first, we're gonna steal the map from the local homeless.
Hey, that's because I get lost as shit on this fucking lake.
And only a short ride after,
Hello? Please.
Yes, our snake mommy.
Hello. It's rather chilly here, isn't it? Please. I must have the necklace back.
the good news is the necklace didn't go far. It's actually with a local drug dealer. And he's willing to part with it for a few runes.
Ah, yes, but wait,
How do we buy it if we don't have any runes? I could kill my boy here, but I really don't want to do that. This man sells the late game good. Well, if you go back and review Rule 1, you'll notice I put a little asterisk there. And if you noticed that at the beginning, you were lying. So the addendum to Rule 1,
Rule number 1. Thou shalt only use runes gained by killing other players. This includes invading NPCs.
and now with that in mind, I know the perfect harness eater that can help us out with this purchase. But we're gonna have to do a little bit of traveling. And keep in mind, we're still pretty weak, and she may have the potential to one-shot us. So I recommend running by and grabbing the Site of Grace, just in case the worst happens. And after defeating the dirty tarnished eater, would you look at that, we get our first usable souls.
Wow!
And the next part of this is pretty simple. We just head back, we buy the necklace, we give the necklace,
Please. Take
and
this.
Raya returns a nice gift, an invitation you might say. But before we head to the Altus Plateau, we still have 1,300 runes to spend. We don't want to risk losing those, and we could level, but I would like to give back to the community. And this is Kale. He's a homeless man in need of runes, and he also has some good items to sell. Might as well pick him up.
But wait a minute, how are we supposed to invade?
Well, if you check the length of the video, there's still one more section to do.
Ah, yes, young adventurer. You've gone through all the trials, and all that's left is making it to Volcano Manor.
And the quickest way to make it to the Altus Plateau is to run across the Lake of Lernia,
And take the super jump.
and obviously going out of our way to avoid combat. And at this point, it's just a simple straight ride. Up to the Ductus Lift, and on to the Altus Plateau. Wasn't that fast? And waiting for us right outside the Ductus Lift is our beautiful snake woman. But call me old-fashioned, but I'd like to grab a Site of Grace nearby, just in case I need to come back. And we are finally ready to go to Volcano Manor, and we just have to touch Raya's hand.
I will pray.
And isn't it strange that every woman's hand you touch in this game just ends up transporting you? I need an adult. Good thing there's one right here, ready to give me a key. And just inside this room, you find two awkward individuals sitting in the same room, but not talking to each other. Weird.
But after so long,
There it is. And now, with a Requisite finger, we can freely invade until our heart is content. And if you made it this far, thank you so much. This is not one of my normal videos, but this challenge run is going to be streamed, so be sure to subscribe if you want more. But for right now, oh boy, do I have some killing to do. And thanks for watching.